We're back with the headlines and top stories coming your way. Please take a look on Times Now. It's a big diplomatic win for India. Fugitive billionaire Nirav Modi arrested in London. The court rejects the bail plea significantly. This is the first step effectively towards extradition. As the NDA government walks the talk on fugitives, the opposition still unimpressed. The Congress calls it a poll gimmick. All four accused in the Chhota blast case acquitted by the special NIA court. Asim Anand will walk a free man.
The BJP has systematically attacked every institution in this country for the last 5 years. I think the Prime Minister should stop thinking that people are fools and understand that they see through all this.
The dynasty debate reignited 22 days ahead of the polls. Prime Minister accuses dynasts of destroying democracy. The Congress hits right back, says the Sangh Parivar is the biggest dynasty of them all.
अब जिनका वंशी नहीं हो तो वो क्या करेंगे?
The dynasty face-off takes an ugly turn. Top Congress Neta Ghulam Nabi Azad hurls another personal attack on Prime Minister Modi. Says he is without any family, so how would he know? And the Prime Minister Nirav Modi addresses 25 lakh chowkidars or watchmen and women. Attacks the namdars yet again, or the dynast, says his integrity being maligned to shadow the development under the NDA government. Now to the biggest news break of the day. Significant developments in the case of the fugitive billionaire Nirav Modi, who's wanted in the 13,000 crore PNB loan scam. He defrauded, remember, the country, then went around to 6 countries, setting up shell companies and businesses. He's just been arrested in London. Just a few minutes back, the UK court has denied him bail significantly on 5 major counts, one of them being that a red corner notice was issued against him way back. In fact, in a scathing observation, the UK judge has also said that the court suspected that Nirav Modi would be a flight risk. In not so many words, the judge said he would not surrender if granted bail. That, of course, was also the case that the Crown Prosecution Service, on behalf of the Indian authorities, that case they had made. Indian agencies like the ED have now been allowed to auction Nirav Modi's assets, including 78 paintings worth over 10 crore rupees, diamonds, cars, as well, owned by Nirav Modi, the proceeds of which will then be deposited in the trial court. We'll go across straight to my colleague Jonathan. Also, Dan is joining us on this broadcast. Jonathan, coming to you quickly first, what distinguishes this particular case from the Malia case is the denial of bail to Nirav Modi. Many people perhaps did not expect that. The Indian government, the Crown Prosecution Service, seems to have learned their lesson from the Malia case. Nirav Modi will stay in jail till the 29th. But if we go by the Malia experience, there is just a small step towards extradition. There is a long, winding legal process that Nirav Modi has options for, but still a significant movement with the denial of bail. Jonathan, what have we learned today?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I could never have predicted this. I'm simply going by my experience, and Danish was there for every step of the way as well with Vijay Mallya. Look, Vijay Mallya was granted bail on day 1. He was free to come and go as he pleased over the course of some year and a half of legal proceedings. He would just come and go in his car and return to his life of luxury. It's a very different picture here, Danish, isn't it?
Yes, well, of course, Athar, I must also add that, just going beyond this bail thing, just to get a flavor of the kind of defense that he's going to put up. So the court was told that Nirav Modi is accused of something which is bizarre, because Nirav Modi was getting those letter of understanding from the Punjab National Bank all these years, and that suddenly they decided that it's not correct for him to get those letter of understanding. Now, how brazen can you get? We know for a fact that those letter of understanding was given to Nirav Modi without any mortgage, without any sort of security. So his plea in the court is that he was getting those documents and that it was because of some political motivation that these charges have been brought against him. So it's really bizarre, which the court didn't buy, Jonathan.
That's right. It's an identical defense, effectively, to the Vijay Mallya defense, which is that the case is politically motivated and that he feels he's unlikely to receive a fair trial. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about this when it goes to the extradition process.
Athar, I may just add before I give it to you, it's also a feeling of deja vu because Mark Summers was in the courtroom, which means that he will be taking up the matter for CPS. And the barrister who was defending Nirav Modi also mentioned the name of Claire Montgomery, who will be perhaps also joining the case. The next hearing, which is on the 29th, will be before the Chief Magistrate, Emma Arbuthnot. So all these characters and people remind us of Vijay Mallya's case, and India can only hope that the end of this case is also something that goes very much Vijay Mallya's way.
Yes, Jonathan, I'll just introduce my other guests who are joining me right now. Ashutosh Mishra, political analyst, and T.R. Prasad Gowda, JDS spokesperson. And before I go across to them, I quickly want to dip back into my London colleagues right now to ask you both, Jonathan and Danish, the fact that there seems to be a pattern really that the Indian agencies along with the Crown Prosecution Service might just tweak their game plan a little bit to avoid the Mallya sort of delay. It's been effectively 2 years since Mallya was first arrested, and it's significant that he hasn't gotten bail. But there are still wheels in motion as far as the justice system of the UK is concerned. He still has those options open. How much time it will take would depend really on how the agencies can convince the court he's not only a flight risk, but also the nature and the expedition of his extradition request. That also typically would take time. Very quickly, Jonathan, Danish, before I go back to my Indian guest here.
Yes, Athar. So what will happen now is on the 29th of March when he comes up, again, I'm sure that they will want to have a conditional bail, but then there will be a time frame which will be set. So all these court matters work within a time frame. These will be case management hearings that I and Jonathan have been attending in Vijay Mallya's case. The case management hearings will go on over the next few months, and during that proceedings, a date will be set for the trial. So that will be the substantive hearings which will take place, and then the court will come out with a judgment. All in all, Athar, a year minimum for this case to reach its conclusion at the Westminster Magistrate Court.
Jonathan, something to add before I come back?
Well, yes, I mean, we've heard all the technical detail here. One thing I would like to add is a very personal observation, which is that you will have seen the footage that we took, that exclusive footage in the West End of Nirav Modi running away from our cameras, looking incredibly evasive and furtive. Well, we saw him in court here today. I must say he looks like a really broken man. If it's anything to compare with Vijay Mallya, of course, we know how confident and occasionally pompous Mr. Mallya can be. Mr. Modi is a completely different story.
A marked difference.
Utterly broken.
A marked difference. If I could borrow a word, devastated perhaps, Jonathan, wouldn't really be off the mark here. So let's come back to the aftermath or the repercussions here in India, because as we all know, India is going in for an extremely crucial election, and this clearly will add to the political narrative that we've been hearing. Remember, there's an entire atmosphere of a chowkidar debate, of a watchman debate, and the Congress party, in fact, has set that in motion. The Prime Minister seems to be getting the edge as far as coming on top of that narrative is concerned, and this Nirav Modi effect obviously will play into it. T.R. Prasad Gowda, I want to come to you first and then go to Zafar Islam, who's also joining us right now, a spokesperson of the BJP. The narrative clearly is that Chowkidar is doing his duty. There's a marked difference, Mr. Gowda, between the Mallya case and now the Nirav Modi case. Jonathan, my colleague, said he was devastated, looks like a broken man. Now, even though this might be a baby step towards the ultimate extradition of Nirav Modi, this clearly plays into the narrative the government has been building, and the opposition clearly would have no answers today, Mr. Gowda.
First of all, I would like to congratulate British London police officers who have arrested Nirav Modi on the
Pradhan Mantri.
That was Zafar, by the way, but let him finish.
Please congratulate. Don't hesitate.
Of course, see,
have some words for the Prime Minister.
If anybody is doing, one second, listen to me. If anybody is doing good for the country, we will welcome it.
No, I'm saying, I'm trying to tell you
if Modi does it or somebody else does it, we have to congratulate him.
Be faithful to your own land also.
When you
your motherland,
did the good things,
faithful to the Prime Minister of this own country.
When you did the good things,
let's stick to the facts here. I want to make it very clear, sir. One second. Mr. Gowda, Mr. Zafar Islam, I would request you both really not to make it about a current political narrative. This is a case that is going on right now. Let's stick to the facts. And I want to ask Mr. Gowda, no matter who caught him, I think if you want to congratulate anybody, you should congratulate the Telegraph reporter who actually spotted Nirav Modi before anyone else could. I'm sure the Home Department in the UK and the Police Department knew of his whereabouts, but the fact is he was exposed only once the Telegraph reporter actually spotted him walking nonchalantly, perhaps because of hubris or whatever else, on the roads of London. Now that he has been arrested, Mr. Gowda, and there is a marked difference between the Malia case and Nirav Modi. Can you not admit today, Mr. Gowda, that the Chowkidar Chor Hai narrative is simply not working, sir?
No, that is later. That is later. If reporter located him first, we have to congratulate that reporter because see, it is end of the day, we have to congratulate that reporter.
Zafar Islam, there seems to be...
under custody.
Look, Mr. Gowda, I give you two chances. Zafar Islam, there seems to be this reticence on the part of the opposition to admit that this is a significant diplomatic victory, even though this might take time, and realistic estimates would put the chances of Nirav Modi coming back before the elections or even after that, a couple of months, perhaps is low. But not everything could happen. You know, as Jonathan, as Danish has been telling us, there seems to be a marked difference as far as the Nirav Modi case is concerned. But there's also the question, Mr. Zafar Islam, of how Nirav Modi actually fled the country, landed in England on the 18th of February last year, managed to visit 6 countries, set up shell companies everywhere, and set up a great new business with a national insurance number in England. Soho, I'm told, is a very posh part of town, before the news started tightening around him.
Let me tell you a few things, Athar. First of all, I know that the Congress or opposition party will not give credit to the Honorable Prime Minister and the External Affairs Department, the ministry which is actually pursuing this case, the agencies, all the agencies which is pursuing this case. But let me tell you a few things which is important. If somebody remains clueless and they talk like that they are clueless, I very well understand if somebody is clueless, purely because these efforts were extremely confidential and the confidentiality was always maintained. But it is not correct that the authorities in UK was not aware where his
whereabouts. I didn't say that. I said the Home Department was aware of Nirav Modi's whereabouts. That's what I said.
In fact, everyone.
That's what I said.
Everyone was aware. The government of India was aware. Let me tell you, I'm just narrating the truth. The government of India was aware. The Home Department, Home Affairs Ministry in UK was aware. They needed some more information. They were interacting through our missions in UK. But as long as they were not convinced, they would have not arrested him, or also. Till that time, all the other benefits like any other individuals would have enjoyed, he was also enjoying in terms of pension numbers and all the other.
No, but he's there supposedly on an investor visa, sir.
Authorities wanted to be
even though if I take your word at it, sir, that the authorities were concerned and they knew. Allow me to say something, sir.
People are saying
just allow me to put facts in front of our viewers as well, and I want to bring in Ashutosh Mishra on this as well. Ashutosh Mishra, let's just, as I said in the beginning of the program, the Home Department in the UK was aware of Nirav Modi being in that country because obviously he came on a passport. Now he's also the holder of a Belgian passport. We also understand that there are legal options available to him. But does this not reflect, forget the timing, forget the convenient timing, that ultimately Nirav Modi has nowhere to go now? Even if it might take time, the wheels have been set in motion and the government has partially delivered on at least tightening down on those who have defrauded the country, and if you go by reports, already laundered 900 million of the 1 billion plus that he defrauded the country of. Don't you think, just like Balakot, if you look at the counter scenario here, the political scenario in the country, this will be a quote-unquote bump for the government because it plays to their narrative. The opposition does not have a convincing answer or a rebuttal to Nirav Modi getting arrested and being denied bail in the UK, unlike Malia.
It's a huge achievement.
That's what I'm saying. Ashutosh Mishra.
Saying that he will get bail.
Ashutosh Mishra ji, please, Ashutosh.
So, Athar, what the BJP and the Modi government now are trying to do is make a virtue out of a vice. We all remember that way back in February 2015, Mr. Raghuram Rajan had given a list of possible frauds. Why hadn't it acted on that till now? That's for the Prime Minister to answer. Mr. Islam says that we should congratulate the Prime Minister and the MEA. Of course, we should congratulate them. Before the elections, they have woken up, taken adequate steps which will ensure that a person who was helped to flee the country, who was helped to flee the country by this government, he was standing with the government, with the Prime Minister on January 23rd.
Does not want to acknowledge the good work and the good deeds of the Honourable Prime Minister.
Which shows that he was, his fleeing the country was abetted by the government.
No, well, now, you can just throw those phrases out there, sir, but the fact remains that Nirav Modi has been arrested in London. He will not get bailed at least in the 29th, and even though it might be a lengthy process that we are looking at right now, the fact still remains that the Narendra Modi government can now claim that they at least have a grip on where Nirav Modi is. He has been denied bail, and the narrative of Chaukidar Chor hai versus Chaukidar Chaukanna hai. The edge is back with the BJP, at least in the short term. We'll have to see, of course, how this plays out. We'll have to see how this plays out. If Nirav Modi goes the Maल्या way, then of course anything is possible, all bets are off. But right now, bragging rights with the BJP government, that's where I'll leave it at right now. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Mishra, Mr. Zafar Islam, as well as Mr. Prasad Gowda. We'll be right back. We are back with the other big story of the day. All four accused in the Samjhota blast case have been acquitted just a while back by a special NIA court. The prime accused, Asimanand, will be walking like a free man today. He became the face of what was then called, quote unquote, the saffron terror story. Now, Sadhvi Pragya, also one of those accused who've been acquitted today by the court, joins us now on the phone. In fact, she joins us live. Sadhvi ji, हमसे बात करने के लिए शुक्रिया. पहले तो ये बताइए कि आपको आज कोर्ट ने बिल्कुल अक्विट कर दिया है. ऑल फोर अक्यूज्ड इंक्लूडिंग यू मैम हैव बीन अक्विटेड टुडे. क्या आप इसको अपने केस की जीत मानती हैं या अपने निर्दोषता की जीत मानती हैं, और आपको क्यों लगा इस कोर्ट के वर्डिक्ट के बाद कि सच्चाई सामने आई है, इतना टाइम क्यों लगा? साध्वी जी.
देखिए, ये जो कांग्रेसियों ने षड्यंत्र किया है, वो षड्यंत्र को वो लोग स्थापित करना चाहते थे, लेकिन असत्य जो है और अधर्म जो है ज्यादा देर तक टिकता नहीं है. जो उन्होंने भगवा को आतंकवाद कहा, हिंदू को आतंकवाद कहा, और ये जो है सनातन हमारा धर्म कभी आतंकवादी नहीं हो सकता, आतंकवाद नहीं फैला सकता. ये हमारा देश है, हम अपने देश की रक्षा करते हैं, हम अपने देश के दुश्मनों का सफाया करते हैं, और इसलिए ये भयभीत होकर के इन लोग इस प्रकार के शब्द बयान करते हैं, क्योंकि ये हमारा भगवा जो है ना, ये भगवा आतंकियों को आतंकित करता है, देशद्रोहियों को आतंकित करता है और करता रहेगा. और इसलिए हम इस बात के लिए हमेशा तैयार है कि तो जो दुश्मन है यहाँ के वो आतंकित रहें, लेकिन हम हमारे देश की रक्षा करते हैं. हम देश प्रेमी हैं, देशभक्त हैं, अपने देश पर समर्पित होना जानते हैं, अपने देश के लिए जीना और मरना जानते हैं, और हम मरते हैं. कोई भी कष्ट हम अपने देश के लिए सहन कर सकते हैं. इतने वर्ष जो हम लोग अंदर रहे, हमारा टॉर्चर किया इन्होंने, तोड़ना चाहा सब कुछ, लेकिन उन्हें नहीं पता है कि देशभक्तों में कितनी ताकत होती है. ये जन्म और जन्मांतर तक कभी देशभक्तों को कभी भी हानि नहीं पहुंचा पाएंगे. हम आज इस जन्म में हैं, अगले जन्म में भी रहेंगे देशभक्त, अगले जन्म में भी रहेंगे, और हमेशा दुश्मनों के लिए हम खौफ बनकर तैयार रहेंगे और उनको सफाया करते रहेंगे.
साधु जी, एक और सवाल. कुछ लोग अभी भी हैं, पॉलिटिशियंस ही हैं, अब मैं नाम किसी का लेना नहीं चाहूँगा. एक कहते हैं कि 68 पीपल डाइड इन दैट ब्लास्ट, लेकिन कोई उसका गिल्टी नहीं पाया गया. कुछ लोग ये भी कह रहे हैं कि बिकॉज आपके आरएसएस के साथ लिंक थे इसलिए आपको छोड़ा जा रहा है, वगैरह वगैरह. ये पॉलिटिशियंस ऐसा कह रहे हैं. जो लोग ऐसा कह रहे हैं, और महबूबा मुफ्ती एक पॉलिटिशियन है, वो भी जेएनके की फॉर्मर चीफ मिनिस्टर रह चुकी हैं, वो कहती हैं, और मैं कोट कर रहा हूं साध्वी जी उनको, डिस्पाइट डैमिंग एविडेंस द अक्यूज्ड एंड अ फॉर्मर आरएसएस मेंबर हैव बीन एक्विटेड. गॉड फॉरबिड कि आप कोई और होते, और उनका इशारा काफी सटीक है, काफी क्लियर है, तो वो कह रहे हैं कि शायद रिजल्ट दूसरा होता. इस पे क्या जवाब देंगे आप?
देखिए, मुझे आपकी आवाज पूरी नहीं आ रही, लेकिन एक प्रश्न मुझे समझ, आपकी एक शब्द समझ में आया है कि मैं आरएसएस से जुड़ी हूं इसलिए ये सब हमारे साथ हो रहा है। देखिए, आरएसएस हो या फिर देशभक्त हो, आरएसएस देशभक्तों का पर्याय है। आरएसएस का पर्याय देशभक्त हैं। अगर देशभक्त इकट्ठे होकर के बात करते हैं तो तकलीफ किसको है और क्यों होनी चाहिए? अरे हम तो कहते हैं कि तुम भी आ जाओ, तुम भी आरएसएस में हो जाओ, भगवामय हो जाओ, क्यों शर्म आती है तुम्हें? लेकिन मैं एक बात कहती हूं कि आरएसएस के कारण, आरएसएस से जुड़े होने के कारण मैं अंदर हूं, तो मैं ये नहीं मानती, क्योंकि ये कोर्ट ने किया है, कोर्ट ने निर्दोष सिद्ध किया है और कोर्ट पर किसी प्रकार का प्रश्न इस समय नहीं खड़ा करना चाहिए। क्योंकि जो न्यायालय है उस पर तो कम से कम विश्वास करें। जब इनके कांग्रेसियों के विरुद्ध कोई निर्णय आता है तो कोर्ट पे अविश्वास होता है, इनके पक्ष में निर्णय आता है उनको विश्वास हो जाता है। ये तो ढुलमुल रवैया वाले देशघाती लोग हैं, इनके पक्ष में हम कुछ नहीं कहते हैं, लेकिन इतना अवश्य कहते हैं कि मैं आरएसएस के कारण निर्दोष सिद्ध नहीं हुई हूं। आरएसएस हमारी विचारधारा, आरएसएस हमारा एक चिंतन है, हमारा देश के प्रति समर्पण है, किंतु हम सिद्ध हुए हैं अपने सत्कर्मों से, देश के प्रति समर्पण भाव से। हमारे विरुद्ध कभी भी कोई भी देश विरोधी गतिविधियां के सबूत हो ही नहीं सकते, क्योंकि हम कभी ये कार्य नहीं करते।
साध्वी प्रज्ञा, हमसे बात करने के लिए शुक्रिया। आपको आज कोर्ट ने एक्विट किया है और हमसे बात करने के लिए शुक्रिया। Again, of the 4 prime accused, all of them have been acquitted, including Saध्वी Pragya, who you just heard yourself. We'll take a short break right now.